Okay, well, we are back.
We never left.
Now,
Maybe. Who knows?
I think I've recovered from the elevator scene.
I don't know that I'll ever recover from the elevator scene. Um,
That's fair.
because just when you thought it was gonna end, it just kept going and going and going and going. And yet somehow it didn't really get tiring. It just got more and more. It was funny to watch Junpei continue to like diverge down this completely separate conversation path from her, and they were just not on the same page at all. Anyway, it's I appreciate the translators for that. I'm sure that that's a controversial scene for some people because I'm sure some people are like, "Oh, it just goes on, and it's so out of pocket, and it's not funny." But
I mean,
that's probably the best moment of the game so far, honestly. As far as upbeat and funny moments go, because this game does have a lot of those, but it does a very good job of balancing humor with the seriousness of the story and the
and
situation.
speaking of serious, it seems that the Door 3 team is not so happy right now. I can't imagine why. It looked as though there was something strange about them. Seven had the look of a man who'd seen a ghost. Ace was just as pale, and Clover looked as though she was only moments from passing out entirely. For a long moment, they simply stood there looking at one another. Junpei looked around nervously, waiting for someone else to speak. No one did. He looked at Seven.
What happened?
What the hell kind of question is that?
Seven was trying very hard to be angry, but something had shaken him hard. His shoulders were trembling and his voice strained.
Snake is...
Seven couldn't finish. He just looked away, his face twisted by. Junpei wasn't sure what. Instead, Ace spoke. He took a deep breath, closed his eyes, and spoke.
Snake is... dead.
Yeah.
He died, just as the ninth man did.
It was as if all the air had suddenly been sucked out of the room. Junpei felt his heartbeat quicken and he realized he was having trouble breathing. He could feel cold sweat beading on his forehead and neck. June, Santa, and Lotus looked the way he felt. All three were frozen in place, their faces white.
Oh my god, that's not true, is it?
Yeah, let's go take a look ourselves. Please?
We should make sure.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
should.
right.
And
We
I'm
should.
sure they're gonna not go into explicit detail about the scene, the smell, and whatever else again for like 3 minutes.
They nodded to one another and headed for the number 3 door.
Wait! Not that way!
What? Why not?
They stopped short and turned to look at Seven. He was pointing at the door with no number.
I stuck a screwdriver in there to keep the door from closing all the way. It's not locked, so you can go in that way.
Where is he?
See, that's that skill of Seven's coming in handy.
The shower room, on the left side of the hallway. I put a broom in there too to keep the door open.
That means we can get in without going through the numbered door, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
Then let's go.
Oh boy. Their new destination cleared, Junpei and his companions headed for the door with no number. Once in the hallway, it was easy to spot the metal door on the left
This
wall.
wasn't open when we passed here before.
But now, just as Seven had said, there was a broom stuck between the door and the frame, keeping it open.
Well, let's keep going.
Oh boy. They looked at it for a moment, then stepped inside.
Oh, it smells horrible.
Smells
Oh,
like
it smells
explosion.
horrible. Ugh. Smells like exploded bodies in here. I haven't smelled those since the Gulf War. You know what I'm saying?
I
Ugh.
don't think she's that old.
Listen up,
Lotus
sweetie.
wrinkled
The
her
Gulf War
nose
was
and
only
covered
70
her
years
mouth
ago.
in disgust. Even Santa pinched his nose shut.
Ugh, yeah, this is pretty awful. I feel like I'm gonna puke.
It was just as bad as they said, perhaps worse. A hideous smell filled the air so thick they could almost taste it. Yeah. Insert Patrick licking the sponge popsicle there. It was a sour and smell of fish, feces, and burnt meat. Oh, goodness.
What a God! You know this game and the description. Okay,
Yeah.
I guess Santa. Wait, Santa and Lotus didn't see it last time, did they?
No, Santa was here. And Lotus saw it off screen, but
Right.
sour smell of fish, feces, and burnt meat. I just don't even want to know what that would smell like. It worked its way through Junpei's nose and down his throat to pound against the entrance to his stomach.
Ooh.
He put his hands over his mouth and struggled to keep what little was in his stomach where it belonged.
Where is he? Where's Snake?
They didn't have to wonder where the body was.
There.
There was blood everywhere, a few arms of the splatter reaching toward them as they walked in through the door. All one had to do was follow the many radial arms to their source. The body itself was hidden behind a divider.
June, you should stay here.
But
Please, just do me a favor, okay?
Yeah,
Alright.
you freaked out really hard last time you saw it. He didn't give her a chance to say no. He put his hand on her shoulder as if to shove her into the ground like a tent pole, turned and walked toward the end of the divider.
I'm going in.
Going in, fellas.
It felt like it took an eternity for him to get there. Santa and Lotus followed, timid and nervous as a pair of children. Eventually, they reached the divider. They looked at one another and nodded slowly. Junpei put his hands on the divider and peered around the corner.
Ugh.
For a moment, he forgot to breathe. He felt his heart collapse in his chest like an empty cigarette carton, and time froze. He knew in that instant that he would take the image before him to the grave. What was left of the body sat in a sea of blood. Chunks of flesh torn from the body sat in the blood like tiny islands in a great red sea. A vast ragged hole had been torn in the torso, and what remained of his intestines spilled out of it like fresh spaghetti. I feel like I've read this exact description last time.
I feel like this is verbatim copy pasted.
Let's see, they splattered against the wall, they stuck there as they dry, globules of yellowish fat like the slugs. Yep, this is exactly
like
the
he
same,
said.
yep. Santa's voice was strained. Junpei suspected he was holding down some vomit of his own.
Just like the ninth man. The detonator in his bracelet set off the bomb in his gut.
It looked as though the explosion had been quite powerful.
Oh god. The bone is coming out of his left arm.
It's definitely an open fracture.
Haha. His legs were both bent in odd unnatural way, and his left arm had split open, exposing the painfully white bone of his ulna. Yep, his bracelet lay next to him. It seemed to have hit the wall hard enough to have shattered the display, which lay on the ground in pieces.
oh, the
Yep.
face. It's horrible.
Oh, but now Lotus is here, I guess.
Yeah, you can't even tell who it is.
Half of his head had simply collapsed. The blood coating almost made it look like raw pizza dough. Yep, I remember that. Clothes were covered in blood. The burgundy tie, white shirt and jacket. Yep, that is
But the
Snake's
clothes
attire. They were all familiar to
No
Junpei.
mistake about it. It's Snake.
Snake!
Snake, Snake, Snake. Lotus's voice was unnaturally deep and strained, and Junpei heard it catch in her throat. ... What a tragedy. The squeal of tortured metal made Junpei's teeth curl. It sounded like the noise a ghost would make. No matter how many times he heard it, he never got used to it. Every time it put him on edge. And it didn't. Okay, so I don't think we can actually. Oh, we can skip this. Okay, I didn't think we could. But I guess it is the same as the scene on the other route, even though that would have been in a different, I guess, spot on the flow chart. But we can skip it since it's the exact same scene. Was Zero on the ship with them?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I'm sure it's. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, Zero's one of us. Ah, shocker. Yes, that's what the thought is. Hell yeah, it's possible. That could be one of them. No, that's silly. Why would you think that, Junpei? Blah, 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 blah.
No, there's no way Zero could be one of us. Well, no, we have to assume that he is. Blah, blah, blah.
Let's trust each other,
Maybe you and
guys.
June should check it out first and then report back to us.
Okay.
All right, let's go, June.
Right.
So now we're gonna
Here
check
it
out
is.
this elevator. Because the thing is, those guys still went to the shower room, so they still got the key card in the shower room, you know? It sat bolted to the
Yeah.
wall near the stairs that led to the casino and the kitchen, between the two elevators.
The Mercury card reader.
Yes.
We're using the card 7 gave us, right?
Yeah.
And we know what's down here.
I found it when we were checking out the shower room.
I think 7 said something like that. Anyway, let's see what happens.
Junpei slid the card through the reader. The light on the reader turned green and made a tiny electronic noise.
I guess the elevator works now.
Jumpy, I know it's only the two of us, but let's do our best.
Yeah, let's have more elevator shenanigans.
What's with you all of a sudden?
Well, I'm happy we were put together.
You know it's just for searching E-Deck, right?
Even so, I'm glad I'm with you.
Oh. First, we need to find out if the elevator comes up full of water.
Just like we did before.
I'm sure it's fine. Totally don't have my alternate timeline knowledge to tell me that.
Oh, here it is.
I knew it. It's not wet at all.
You know, I love how they weren't even concerned about it being wet in the other timeline.
Let's go.
Yes.
They were just like, yeah, let's just go in. Once it had been checked for water, Junpei and June stepped into the elevator.
Look! Nearly all of the buttons are destroyed.
Yeah, only the seat and bottom button can be pushed.
Bottom button.
We're on C deck right now, so the only one we can choose is bottom.
Yeah. Well, let's try it out.
Junpei hit the hyro button.
Excuse me?
The door closed. Slowly, they began to move downward.
Oh, so this is the bottom deck.
They stepped off and saw that the hallway to their right ended somewhere between 20 and 25 feet from them. The hallway in front of them was a dead end, but not a regular dead end. No siree, there was probably a door with a number 2 at the end if I had to guess.
Hey, over there.
Wow, what a good
This
guess
is a
that
numbered
was.
door.
You know, this is a pretty average looking door too, now that I get a good look at it. Definitely got a lot less grandiose as they went on, huh?
This is the 8th one we
Yeah.
found. There were 2 numbered doors on B deck near the central staircase. They were doors 4 and 5.
Hey, what's the digital root of 4 and 5?
The digital root of 4 and 5 is 9.
3
Crazy.
more in the large hospital room.
I can't believe that would happen
Doors
in this
3,
game.
7, and 8.
Hey, what's the digital root of 3, 7, and 8?
The digital root of 3, 7, and 8 is 9.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
That's crazy. There's no way.
And the door we found on E deck, and the door
The digital
Lotus
root of
and
6
Santa
is
found
9.
on
I mean-
A deck.
Yeah? Yeah?
It was a 6
Yeah.
on the door on E deck, and a 1 on the door on A deck.
Yep. And I'm sure I don't need to tell you, but what's the digital root of 6, 1, and 2? It's also 9.
Is it 10? Oh.
That's not a valid
9.
digital root, you silly goose.
Is it 1? Oh. Right.
Yeah, literally every set of doors we found is at the digital root of 9. Isn't that just funny? Now door
Sure.
2 stood in front of
That means-
Junpei.
Do you think the next door we find?
Yeah, I think so. The next one's gonna be door 9.
Hey, what's the digital root of 9?
The 9?
Yeah.
Oh, it's one. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. Despite himself, Junpei felt excited. There was something about that excitement that frightened him as well.
Finally!
Yeah,
Yeah.
You don't look very happy about it, though.
it's not that. I just hope nothing goes wrong.
You're right. We should keep our fingers crossed.
Probably a good idea.
Let's head back.
Okay.
He did his best to put it from his mind and headed back to C deck with June. ...
1, 2, 3, 4. All right, 7 pieces.
The pieces of paper they'd folded up lay on the ground next to Junpei's legs. Everyone had written on paper pulled from Junpei's notebook in an effort to pull together a blind vote.
Just double checking, but everyone wrote their code name and a door number they want, right?
Yes, just like you told us earlier.
Can't believe we're voting here.
Why had they decided to vote that way?
We need to make the whole thing fair, blah-de-blah. This is a complicated plan, you know. Hurry it up, Mr. I have a brilliant idea.
They'd decided it wasn't fair to simply ask everyone at once. That would allow people to force others to go through certain doors.
Yeah.
Junpei.
quiet in the gallery.
Yeah, who would do that? Who would manipulate other people to get to the door he wants? Isn't that Junpei would never do that. And he had a plan. It wasn't a plan he wanted anyone catching wind of, however, so he decided his best to act calm as he began to open and read the pieces of paper.
All right, let's open these up. The first one says, Ace requests door 1.
Yes, I do. Would you like me to explain why?
No.
No, we don't have time for that. Sorry. Let's keep going.
He opened the second one.
Next is Santa. He wants door 6.
Yeah, that's what I wrote.
Junpei continued with the third, fourth, and fifth pieces of paper.
Clover wants 1, Lotus wants 2, and 7 also wants 2.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. There's
Fight,
no
fight,
way
fight.
I'm going anywhere with the Elephant Man.
Oh, jeez.
Elephant Man.
Wow.
Whoa. It's
Wow.
rude.
No, there'd be no point to the voting if we let people change their choices because of stuff like that.
But,
Well,
Just give
I
it
mean,
up, Lotus. It's not like I want to hang out with some exhibitionist grandma.
Damn.
my man.
Someone
This-
finally commenting on her attire?
I am not an exhibitionist. I'm wearing clothes.
She doesn't say
Yeah?
anything about the grandma line.
Barely.
Oh man.
Barely.
So, last I checked, that's not a crime.
Maybe. But what about common decency? Nobody wants to have to look at a chick who looks like a half-naked raisin.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I'm gonna kill you!
Oh. Lotus's hair flared out like the mane of an angry
Oh,
lion,
not
and she
good.
roared with a voice that shook the walls.
Let go! Let go of me! I'm killing him!
With some difficulty, H managed to restrain her.
Junpei, read the rest.
Right.
Junpei tore his eyes away and looked down at the sixth piece of paper. He opened it.
June wants door 6.
Yes, I don't really have a reason. I just felt like it.
All of the papers save Junpei's had been read. He did some quick calculations in his head.
So this was everyone's vote. Ace and Clover requested door 1.
This was the door on A deck near the central staircase.
7 and
I really
Lotus
like
requested
this.
door 2.
I like the dissection of the ship here.
You know, they just want to make sure it's very clear where you're going and with who. This was the door on the bottom deck and could be reached by taking the elevator to the bottom of the
Santa
ship.
and June requested door 6.
This was the door on E deck and could be reached by taking the elevator near the central staircase down. So I'm gonna leave it on this screen for you to look at for a second.
Right, I am. I'm taking this in currently, so
Think about where you want to go.
yeah.
Those are your choices, basically. I mean, whichever one you pick, I'll let you do, so.
Well, I think we're going to have to see all 3 of these at some point.
Correct. Well, yeah.
I would say let's start this with You know what? I want to go to door 1.
Ooh.
I am very curious to know what's going on the upper deck.
Sure, we
So.
did not actually check that ourselves. Okay.
Then the door I should choose is.
The door Junpei will choose is... It took him less than a second to run the numbers. He opened the 7th piece of paper and
Okay,
spoke.
the last one is mine. I want to go through.
Door 1, you say?
Yes, absolutely.
Door 1 it is, then.
My choice is door 1.
Santa was unconvinced.
Hey, wait a minute there. You cheating?
No.
Cheating?
Cheating. Yug, give me a star chips. You're cheating.
I'm asking if you changed your number after you heard what doors we wanted.
No.
Oh. No.
How could I
Silly-
do that?
what a silly
I wrote
goose.
it down on the paper earlier.
Let me see that.
Sure, here.
Junpei shrugged and handed it to him. Santa examined it furiously. The others peered at it as well. As they did, Junpei quickly slipped the piece of paper he'd been hiding into his pocket. Although he'd never know it now, Santa had been justified in his suspicions. Junpei had switched papers. So see, there's an explanation for your main character privileges about why he can choose where to go. Because he cheats.
I had 3 pieces of paper ready.
We are allowed to because we're the main character, so it's fine, you know.
And I put the one with door 6 on it into the pot.
He put a small mark on it so that he would know which one was his.
I just needed to make sure I drew last. After I saw everyone else's result, I just chose whatever door I wanted. If the number I'd already put in matched, then I didn't have to switch the paper out. Well, what does it say?
My man.
He fought the urge to smirk.
You got lucky.
Santa snorted and tossed the paper aside, frustrated.
Very well. We've decided who will go through door 1. It will be Clover, Junpei, and myself.
Aren't you excited we finally get to go to a room with Ace?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't. Wait, have we not done a single room with Ace? I guess we haven't, have we?
There was never a single chance to, because for the 378 thing, he passes out, and then for doors 4 and 5, it just wouldn't work out mathematically. This is the first time we could go with Ace. Not everybody gets an equal distribution in rooms, is the unfortunate
that's-
truth of it, but
Well, that's fair. That's fine.
they
I'm
do
just-
the
yeah.
best they can, I'll say.
I'm excited that we finally get a new character after all this time.
right.
So
Our only problem is the 2 remaining teams.
June and I want door 6.
Lotus and I want door 2.
That's not good.
Yeah, that's not enough.
We can't open either of those doors with only 2 people. Aw.
Fine. 7, we'll go through door 6.
Yep, because thankfully that math does add up.
Sure thing. I didn't really want to go through door 2 anyway.
Yeah, all that's down there is some weird confinement cells and a torture room, and who wants to do that?
Besides, if we've got a younger girl with us, it'll lower the average age.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, June?
Please don't.
Well, I
June was at a loss for words. Ranger danger. Lotus was
Stranger
not.
danger. Oh my.
Pig. You just wait and see.
Uh-oh.
Her eyes were the eyes of a woman prepared to kill. A shiver ran down Junpei's spine.
Calm mold. This is why men are such a pain in the ass.
She is not over it.
They're about as subtle as a brick.
And they're at it again.
Glad we don't have to deal with that. Even after they separated at the staircase, Lotus was still muttering angrily to herself.
I'll see you later, June.
Jumpy.
Circumstances dictated that Junpei and June would have to part ways again, but this time it didn't sting quite so much.
Don't make that face. It'll be like what Seven said.
We aren't going to be split up permanently till we find door 9.
You know, we haven't actually gone with June a single time this route, now that I think about it. Oh well.
That's actually true, yeah.
We might get separated for a little while, but we'll see each other again. Otherwise, we won't be able to open door 9. That's how the nonary game works.
Seven's words took a weight off of Junpei's shoulders and felt much better.
It'll be fine. I'll see you soon.
All right. See you later.
Yeah. Lingering
Or
uneasy
not.
remained. They went their separate directions without much trouble. ... Junpei, Ace, and Clover headed toward A deck.
Here's A deck. It was the door on the left, right?
That should be it, yes.
Then here we go.
It opened and they walked through.
It's just as Santa and
there it
Lotus
is.
said.
Hey, yeah, that's another pretty bog standard door, huh?
You know, I would say that that is almost on par with the 6 door. Maybe slightly more girth and a little bit shorter. It's about the width and how many people can fit through. You know.
I mean, I'd say it compares pretty nicely to the 2 door, I would say.
Yeah, you know, that's a good comparison. I would agree.
Yeah, that's very much like the 2 door. At the end of the hallway sat a door with a large red 1 upon it.
A numbered door.
To the left of it, bolted to the wall, was the red.
There's the red. I'll go first.
Ace went first and waved his wrist over the scanner panel.
Now the 2 of you, if you would.
Junpei was next. Finally, listlessly, Clover lifted her arm. She leaned toward the scanner panel. The third asterisk clicked to life, shining brightly. Ace took hold of the lever.
Now,
He took a deep breath and turned to Junpei and Clover.
are you ready? Shall I pull it?
Yes, you don't need to keep asking.
Yeah, anytime.
Clover said nothing. She nodded little more than a lethargic twitch of the head.
Very well then. Let's go. 3, 2, 1.
Oh goody, oh goody.
And it's open! Move it!
They stumbled into the room.
Where is it?
Frantically, Junpei scanned the room. His eyes stopped on the device that would determine whether they lived or died.
There it is! Over there!
Next to the door they'd come through was the dead. As one, they ran to it. They put their hands over it as if they were fighting for it.
It stopped.
Yes, it did.
Junpei could feel his heart pounding against the inside of his ribs. Ace and Clover were breathing hard and fast.
Whew. I don't believe I'll ever get used to that.
I'm not sure it's something I'd want to get used to. We should finish this game before imminent death becomes a normal thing.
I agree.
Now then,
Junpei looked around again, this time more slowly.
there's another door. Let's try opening it.
He took hold of the knob and easily, gently pulled it open.
So, this is the wheelhouse?
He closed the door again and turned to Ace and Clover.
I am so interested to finally be here, honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I want to know what's going to happen.
Okay, that's fair. He fixed each in turn with a meaningful stare and then spoke.
Ace, you investigate the wheelhouse next door.
Very well.
Clover, you're in charge of this room.
Yeah, good job, Clover.
Say something!
Okay, I will.
Alright then, let's get started.
Ooh, look over there.
Oh boy.
And there. Oh, look there too. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Seek a way out. Da-da. Welcome to the chart room. We're gonna chart things, I guess. So let's see. We have this perspective, the door, which I don't think will be very useful. Oh, how are we gonna?
Oh, it was the Valley Girl accent.
So does that mean you want to do both Clover and Ace?
You can do Ace if you want.
I don't have a good Ace though.
I don't know if I mean, I guess I could do Ace. Yeah, I'll just do Clover. I mean, I'll do Clover and Ace if you want.
Are you sure? Yeah, it's not gonna kill your voice?
Yeah.
Okay.
Junpei, are you trying to open the door? Forget it. It's pointless. I tried it earlier. It won't open.
God, okay, wait, hold on. My voice is not... Ugh, I've not done Clover in a while.
Did you want me to do Clover?
No. I want to get back into the groove. It's fine.
Well, either way. The dead is bolted to the wall here. Good for it. We can't read the door plate. So really, more realistically, we have two useful perspectives is what it's coming down to. Let's see. The shelves are lined with books. Let's see what's in this blue one. There's something written on it. Ship's log.
I mean, that blue one really stands out.
Just a little bit, yeah. Ship's log, huh? New material's been added to the file screen. Oh, goody. Ship's log found in the chart room. The following is written on the last page. We leave soon for a new journey across the sea. After leaving port, we headed south and west. We turned southwest to steer around the continent, then proceeded northwest. We made port, then changed our heading to east for a time and are now heading due north. Soon we will dock in the United Kingdom, the homeland of this vessel. Okay. Interesting. Shelves are lined with books. Looks like they all have something to do with sailing. None of these are very useful. Okay, so we don't need the bookshelf again. It's a light.
Yes.
Well, I guess she doesn't really feel like talking. She's not really paying attention to anything, is she?
I mean, she saw her brother dead in a very horrible, very violent... Anyway.
Yeah, she's probably a little out of it. Her mind must be somewhere else. So sad. What about this? The wooden box. Maybe a case for letters? Hey, Clover, you ever write letters? Nothing. Well, at least it doesn't look like you have to worry about doing Clover too much. What about the chair?
Chair.
Clover isn't very talkative. She looks kind of out of it. She's thinking about Snake. There's nothing special about it. So sad.
Yeah, the end of Metal Gear Solid 4 made me think about Snake too.
The left drawer. Let's have a look. Nothing. Nothing in there. The right drawer. Let's have a look. Nothing. Okay, so those two are useless. What about the middle drawer? Pocket watch.
That's a pocket watch.
Sure hasn't been saying much. She just keeps looking at the floor. She seems kind of sad. Isn't that just so weird? Why are you so sad, Clover? An old one, too. The kind you have to wind. Hands have stopped at 5 minutes, 39 seconds past 10 o'clock. Huh. Wonder if it's broken. Yeah, I don't feel anything moving when I fiddle with the dial here.
Is there anything on the back?
Looks like I could move the hands manually, though. Now the back looks pretty empty.
So you can move the hands. They are currently stuck.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Okay. We'll keep this in mind. It'll come back up.
The voice he hadn't expected startled Junpei from his examination of the pocket watch.
Oh, pocket watch. Might I take a look at it?
He spun around to find Ace standing in the doorway. Junpei shrugged and handed him the pocket watch.
Hey, man. What are you doing over in this room?
Oh, I just thought I'd come check up on the two of you. Is there a problem?
Do we want to be mean to Ace, or do we want to actually
No,
be nice?
I really like Ace. Let's just be nice to him.
Well, not a problem, but...
Junpei looked desperately around the room, anywhere but at Ace, trying to find a convincing reason to dismiss him. Ace opened his mouth and took another look at Junpei and shut it again. A small smirk appeared on his face.
Oh, I see. Of course.
He looked Junpei over, then glanced at Clover.
I apologize for the intrusion. Well, best of luck.
Ace gave Junpei a knowing pat on the shoulder and left.
Okay, that was a little
Ow.
off color for him. Maybe?
No
Don't know.
reason he could fathom Junpei's head began to hurt.
Ah, what the hell?
Huh.
My head.
A sharp pain in his head.
What?
How much time had passed, he wasn't sure. But he did notice when Ace strode through the door. His smile was more of a smirk, and he had the air of a man who knew more than his opponent.
Yes. There was something I wanted to check, if you don't mind.
Yeah. What's that?
Pardon me.
With no warning, Ace slipped his hand into the pocket of Junpei's vest.
Oh,
Hey,
God.
What the hell are you doing?
Yeah, he knew.
Oh, what are you putting your hand in my pocket for? Stop!
He reached for Ace's arm, but it was already too late. In the older man's hand were the pieces of paper Junpei had balled up and hidden in his pocket.
Just as I thought. You switched them, didn't you, when we voted?
Oops.
Well, I can't say that I can.
Meow?
I managed to get through the numbered door I wanted, despite your mischief.
Then why did you...
Oh, simple curiosity. I hope you won't think ill of me for it.
Ace smiled,
I'm a little
gave Junpei
unsettled.
a friendly pat on the shoulder, then turned on his heel and left. It was a small defeat, but it was a defeat. Junpei had lost the upper hand, and he knew it. He could feel his stomach begin to tense.
Damn.
But hey, at least he left us alone with Clover, haha. Yeah, good luck trying to pull a fast one on Ace. This is a pretty empty desk. Oh, jeez.
My brother's desk looked a lot like this. As he couldn't see, he never put stuff on it that he didn't need.
Oh, jeez, that's awkward. Damn, that's... What am I supposed to say to that? Poor kid, she's like a year younger than you, Junpei.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Wait,
look like
really?
there's anything useful. Okay, looks like we got a map. Oh, jeez.
This map looks weird. What is it?
It's a map of the world, but with the Atlantic Ocean in the middle. probably looks weird because you're not used to seeing it that way. Oh yes, they are Japanese, I'm assuming. Yes. That would be why this is
Yeah.
weird, I guess.
Yes.
World map with the Atlantic Ocean in the center. There's something on it. Yeah, us Americans are just like, what are they talking about? That's just a world map. Suppose if you were Japanese, you might have it be Pacific Center instead, but I mean, same difference, I guess. Okay, what about this chair? A chair.
A chair.
Clover isn't talking much. Well, I guess that's understandable. I mean, she's been through a lot. She totally saw her brother's giblets all over the place earlier, so I guess that could be a little traumatizing.
That word. There it is again.
Really, it's more surprising that she's still together enough to talk at all. It seems solemn, somehow, and melancholy. Poor chair. Can't look at that light. What about this light? Maybe. A light. It's kind of like a wilted flower.
Does it? I mean, I guess it kind of does.
Okay, looks like we got a bunch of drawers. Oh, hey. Stack of nautical charts. I think this is a
That
nautical
looks
chart.
similar. I bet you need the map on the wall for that. Yeah.
There's this line on it here. I think the line is the route the ship is supposed to take.
There are those dots all over the map.
Oh, those are probably ports, like for a boat to stop at. Looks like the lines connect the dots.
There's a stack of charts like that one.
Yep.
How many are there?
I'm not really sure, but I'd say somewhere in the ballpark of 10 or so. Stack of nautical charts. Each page has different lines on it. Okay. Interesting. There's nothing left in the drawer.
I guess this is probably for reading maps. Or something.
Yeah, they probably spread the map out here and there to decide on the route. Cabinet where they store nautical maps, apparently. Okay, well, I think we're gonna have to do the rest of this, room in the next episode. But hey, aren't you happy we get to hang out with our good pals Clover and Ace? Isn't that just so wonderful?
Yeah, when you were like, oh, are you sure you wanted to voice both Clover and Ace? And now it's like, well, I mean, Clover's pretty despondent. She's not really saying anything. She's not really contributing. Can't really blame her.
No.
In fact, I feel pretty bad for her, honestly. But I'm just expecting at some point by the end of this game, I'm going to go, I can't believe I liked them, or I can't believe I felt bad for so-and-so, or something.
You
But
very well could.
guess we'll find out.
In probably not the next episode,
Not the
but
next. No,
at
that's
some point.
little too soon. Yep.
We'll figure it out later.
Maybe. Or maybe we'll just die in here, trapped, unable to solve this puzzle.
That would be horrible if someone died.